Guys, it's Ange, aka Angela Davis, with Social Media Management with Angela Davis. A way to repurpose your content. So if you're going to be posted on social, don't just be like, oh my gosh, I posted Instagram carousel, I'm finished, I'm done. Okay, well maybe you can take this Instagram carousel and you could turn it into a 60-second reel or short reel, or you could just turn it into a training and add in a few slides or some bonuses or something like that. So here's a great way to repurpose content. So today we're going to be talking about how to build your personal brand on social media. If you guys are interested, you can follow me right here at SMM with Angela Davis on Instagram. All right, let's go to the next slide. We're going to start with step number 1, define your niche. And really all that's telling you is to build a solid personal brand, it should be built around a specific area of expertise or interest. And some examples that we have can be fashion, cooking, maybe leadership development. Maybe you're passionate about dogs and you have a lot of information on dogs and techniques and tips and tricks and all that. But you want to pick a specific niche that aligns with your skills and your passions. So don't just pick something because it's popular and you're like, oh, I'll just get a lot of views. Well, if you don't know anything about that specific thing, it can be really hard to try and generate content around it. And it can be really hard to try and make yourself passionate about something that you really don't care about. Like, it wouldn't make any sense for me to create an entire page on cats. I'm just not the biggest cat fan. I don't know anything really about cats. It just doesn't make any sense. Try to pick one specific thing to focus on so then your audience will know, oh, I know if I follow Ange, she's going to be posting a lot about social tips on different platforms to help me. She's going to be giving me coaching aids, that kind of thing, so that you can go ahead and prosper in whatever field that you're going to be working in. Number 2, so you need to establish your brand messaging. And what that basically means is your brand messaging, it should be consistent across all of the social media platforms that you utilize, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You want to use a consistent tone of voice, your visual branding and hashtags to communicate your message. So what they're saying here is your visual branding. The colors I usually use are this blue right here, this tan, and this pink. A lot of times these are the colors I just use frequently. I love them. They're a part of my brand kit. So that it's easy that if you follow me on other platforms, then you automatically know, oh, that's Angela. I know she uses that purple color right there. It's a different type of color. You want to be able to make yourself stand out and get recognized for having the same consistent thing. So people are easily going to be able to identify you. When it says consistent tone of voice, what they're saying is it doesn't make any sense for me to make my content on Facebook, if I make my content very open and the way that it flows is just has a very happy tone, it's very calming. Whereas if I'm on Twitter and it's very like all caps, using very harsh wording, or very extremely professional wording, and it's like, what? On Instagram you made this so easy to understand, and now you're over here on Facebook and you're using so much technical jargon that I have no clue what the heck you're talking about. So just keep that in mind as you're building. Number 3, you need to create high quality content. And you're probably like, what the heck? How do I do that? So in order to attract and retain your followers, you must provide high quality content that provides value to your audience. So whether you're sharing tips, you're sharing insights, you're sharing personal stories, you're sharing like maybe a webinar and you're giving like one-on-one training support and you're giving tips and you're giving out free value. So that obviously you can ensure that you're informing your audience. It's going to be engaging, ask some questions throughout the way, and then make sure you're authentic, because it's really disheartening to see somebody on social and you see the way they post, you see the way they act in their videos, right? And then you meet that person in real life and you're like, oh my gosh, you are nothing like your videos. Nothing at all. I don't know where that person came from, but it's not you. So just make sure you're being authentic and don't just try and copy somebody. You can look at other people, but obviously you are the only person that can say this content the way that you want it to come across and add your own spin and twist to it. Don't try and copy somebody else, because you're going to come across as inauthentic, and honestly, I'm sure that would be very exhausting and really hard to keep up over time. If you have some questions on how to create high quality content, you need more examples, just send me a message or comment somewhere below here, and I will give you guys a list of ideas to be able to create high quality content. All right. Number 4, guys, engage your audience. Engaging with your audience is going to be critical to building your personal brand on social. So you need to be responding to your comments, your messages, participate in group discussions, or if someone's having like a little discussion over here and you're like, oh my gosh, I can add some value. If someone's asking some questions, get on in there. Obviously, I would specifically say if somebody is asking for advice, then that's great. Go ahead, give them the advice, but I would still say be mindful of where you are commenting, because I've seen individuals ask for advice and then they kind of hijack the entire conversation and they are promoting, I don't know, some product or coaching service or something that they have. And it's like, I don't really think they asked about that. They kind of just asked you to answer that specific question that they had. And like I said, you don't want to come across as pushy or salesy or, spammy and just putting your stuff on stuff that's like, well, they didn't really ask about that. They wanted that question. But you could just mention a part, hey, if you just so happen to need more support or you have more questions, I also do this part-time. That's it. I wouldn't sit here and here's my link and this and that. That's definitely going a little bit overboard. Before we move, I would say, especially when you are replying to your comments each day, that should be something that's happening daily, because you don't want to grow this beautiful following and then you never engage with your audience. You don't ever reply to comments. You don't ever say, great job. You don't even go and support anybody that follows you. It just doesn't make any sense. Let's see if this will move to the next slide. All right. So number 5 here is going to be collaborating with others. So this is a great opportunity to get together with others and grow your followings together, because it's a great way to grow, and it can really make you kind of seem like an authority figure. If you're really branching out and you're getting on these webinars with other people and you guys are both very knowledgeable about what it is you're talking about, it can be very good to make you know exactly what you're bringing across. Collaborating with other people and brands in your industry can help broaden your reach and attract new followers. Consider partnering with other influencers, hosting on a guest blog, maybe popping in on a podcast, participating in industry events, going to a network event. So it's tons of different ways to be able to engage with others, and honestly, it's quite fun. It's so much fun being able to interact with other people and not just kind of isolating yourself. This clicker just doesn't like me. Measure your success. To track your success of your brand on social media, you guys are going to want to monitor your engagement rates, your follower growth, and maybe the traffic that's going there, or where this traffic is specifically coming from if it's not on a website. And then you need to use that data to refine your strategy and optimize your content for your maximum impact. So basically what they're telling you is you want to make sure on social that you're going to be paying attention to your analytics, pay attention to your insights. You want to see, oh, this post right here that I did really great. What's going on with this? Was it the hashtags I used? Did a lot of people find this because of the hashtag? Was it the time of day I posted? Where did this traffic come from? Was this traffic that came from my followers? Was it because I did a reel and I added a specific hashtag in there? So you really just want to pay attention so that obviously you can keep producing content just like that to keep yourself growing. Now, obviously, be mindful that some of these accounts have hundreds of thousands of followers. One key thing to pay attention to, they may have hundreds of thousands of followers, but just because they have hundreds of thousands of followers doesn't necessarily mean that they actually are monetizing their followers. Like, they may not have clients with 100,000. I've seen it. I've seen accounts where they have hundreds of thousands of followers, but then when you go through their content, they only have like 20, 30 likes on a post. It just doesn't make any sense. And I've seen some brands where they're like, oh yeah, not brands, but some people where they have that many followers and they're like, yeah, I'm barely scraping by. And then I've seen accounts where it's like, oh, they only have like 2,000 people, but it's very specific people that need their specific product or service, and they're catering directly to them, and they make hundreds of thousands. It's just about making sure you're building an authentic brand. Don't go ahead and try and, oh, I want all the followers. Just followers don't necessarily mean anything. Don't go and fall into the gimmick of let me buy followers. Let me go ahead and, post all this spammy content just to get people in the door. And, that's just not the way to do it. Keep it organic. Is the best way that I have found. Now, there's lots of people that do automation and, things to that effect. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me specifically, I just like to grow followings authentically and organically. All right. To recap on everything I just said, building your personal brand on social media, it involves your several key steps. These include defining your niche, developing your unique value proposition, creating engaging content that resonates with your audience. So that's a really hard one sometimes to really hit the hammer on the nail, because it can be a little tricky if you don't have who your ideal client is narrowed down yet. Engage with your followers, and engaging in conversations is essential for building your strong community. Maintaining a consistent voice and visual brand across all your platforms is critical for building a recognizable brand. And then finally, continually analyzing metrics and adjusting your strategies is vital for your continued growth and success. If you guys need more help on this specific topic, or you'd like me to send you this specific PDF, I can put this in a PDF and send it right on over to you via email. If you guys need one-on-one support and you're like, Ange, I still need more help. This is great value, but I just need a little bit of help where I need to start. I'll have the link to booking a free consultation with me. It's going to be about 45 minutes. And in that call, we will discuss if us working together is going to work, or just helping you get a strategy in place, whether that's with managing your social media, one-on-one coaching consultation, whatever needs to be done, we can go ahead and get that taken care of on the call. So go ahead, book your call. If you need anything else, or you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys. Bye.